Okay, here we go, boys. Damn, I feel like it's 2011 again, bro. How bad can this be? I mean, come on.
You picked a bad time to come home to Skyrim, kinsman.
What are you staring at?
Happy to help you.
You feeling all right?
What are you gonna do, cry?
What's the matter? You can't stand beside a strong woman?
If you want to play Skyrim with no mods in 2019, you probably still use a mouse with balls. And I totally feel you, because you'll need those heavy ass balls either to live through this experience long enough or break your monitor with that shit. So when I said with no mods, I really mean it, dude, no mods. Oh, but maybe just Sky UI or a couple of immersive mods just to add to the gameplay. No! No! I can already hear you, Vibs, when I say no mods. I actually mean no fucking mods, okay? None. Zero. Now, I'm almost 100% sure that everyone who plays Skyrim today, even with a minimalistic mod list, didn't see this intro cutscene for God knows how long. Alternate start and live another life are essential mods nowadays. By the time I got through this, I could already increase my speech by trolling the Dark Brotherhood or something.
What is the music of life?
I'll rip your heart out!
After Ralf almost littered my veins, I got the feel of vanilla combat again after 11 years. The first contact my weapon made with an enemy felt like I'm hitting a wall with a wet towel. And since I started on legendary difficulty, saying that enemies are bullet sponges, I mean sword sponges, is like saying that Kevin Hart is an average size male.
Understatement.
Ralf gave his best, but this experience feels exactly like slapping contest. You exchange hits until one of you lose more HP and falls down. Some lucky critical hit here and there. This is Ralf the Nord, by the way. When we finally got out of the cave, I wanted to try and take out those two bandits alone for some more loot before I get down to Riverwood. They were dealt without too much trouble, even though this is on legendary difficulty. This might not seem like a big deal, but I'll tell you why it is actually. Playing for so long with different combat mods totally changed my approach to this kind of situation, especially in the early game. It's like two completely different games, man. Anyway, I didn't want to give up, so I continued towards Riverwood. Ralf decided to be a dickhead and cockblock Sven so he can take Fandal as a companion. But before you judge Ralf, he actually did it for bigger and bolder plan. Before we continue, I have to mention this scene right here. This thing always bothered the shit out of me. Can you guess why? No, it's not the fact that Geldor gave me the key for the house without even asking her out. Ralf is alpha as fuck anyway. It's the fact that Skyrim has two voice actors in general, but this scripted sequence right here where Hod and Ralf have the same voice is beyond retarded.
Ralf, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept.
It's so early in the game, man, and you hear shit like this. Yeah, it's true, you'll hear this voice more often than you see the epic Nate upload another 10 tiny details video. Nate, dude, it's 2019. The only tiny detail you didn't reveal about Skyrim is how to cast remove herpes spell. Stop, dude. I bet the guy who was in charge of this scripted sequence also had the idea to not include any NPCs in Fallout 76 for similar reasons. How to avoid two of the same guys talking to each other? Don't include NPCs. Genius! Now, that classic vanilla Skyrim experience would not be complete without venturing straight to Bleak Falls Barrow after you leave Riverwood. And to tell you the truth, man, halfway through this dungeon something hit me. I felt a strong sense of nostalgia, dude, and that scared me realizing how old this game actually is. Why am I enjoying this so much? Before I even thought about doing a no mod video, I was convinced I would hate playing the game like this. Maybe after losing that masochist urge to try and get my character killed easier by making the combat better, helped me to enjoy the game more. Ralf certainly likes this more than dying from naked bandits and then being forced to pick up flowers and block mudcrabs for the next 5 levels. But let's move on. As I progressed more, it turned out that legendary difficulty is not easy as I thought it would be. It's not hard for the same reasons as my modded Skyrim, where you need to try and dodge attacks, prepare for certain fights, or even completely avoid this kind of dungeons until you level up, since my modded Skyrim is de-leveled for the most part. Here I still took quite a bit of damage when I don't block, or I get myself in 2 versus 1 situations. This was pretty much undoable without a follower, and it turned out that Fandal is a beast. Followers I have in my modded Skyrim are wimps at lower levels. Lydia didn't even know how to properly wield a cooking spoon, let alone a sword.
I am sworn to
Stay in the kitchen.
Anyway, we cleared the way and got to the main boss room. Draugr Overlord had shit ton of HP as expected, but Faendal did an amazing job of tanking him and allowing me to press the left click more times than MXR mods show tits in his thumbnails. The next encounter on my way to Whiterun reminded me of the good old days when horses of Skyrim were fearless creatures with ninja skills. What? Where? Made bloodshed and disappeared. Yeah, reminds me of my ex.
She gone, man. She gone.
At this point, I was so immersed in the game, forgot I was even recording. Stole that ninja horse, made some friends along the way, and arrived in Whiterun. Ralf couldn't wait to do some smithing and daydream about hot twins he met while shopping for cabbages. After I gave the stone tablet to Farengar, I actually couldn't wait until we face our first dragon, since this is so different of what I'm used to. Usually I don't progress to this part much longer down the line when I'm at least level 15, or even not at all in some playthroughs because I picked the non-Dragonborn option. After witnessing some more ninjas of vanilla Skyrim and listening this dark elf commanding us Nords, go back to elsewhere you pointy ear, we ventured towards the tower. By this time I played with Rolf for about 3 hours and I wanted to conclude this video and my thoughts after I killed this dragon. It was a decent fight, I had to hide and avoid taking damage completely because this dragon could easily one-shot me with fire breath. After Ralf found out that he's a special little snowflake, I also had formed a solid answer to my own question in this video. I almost forced myself to play with no mods at all, and at the end I'm pretty sure I will do a complete playthrough like this. If you're like me and you played modded Skyrim a lot, I encourage you to try and play the game like this for at least one playthrough. It will certainly be a completely different experience because when we mod our game, before we even blink, there is 100 or more mods in our list, changing the core experience. I'm not saying that in a bad way because mods are awesome in general, but I'll dare to say that vanilla gameplay is far from bad. Yes, the combat is a joke compared to modded Skyrim and modern RPGs in general, but there is fun to be found here despite that. Like I said, this experience is almost nostalgic for me. How do you feel about Morrowind's combat when you start playing that game again? It was always considered as wonky dice rolling or even downright bad, but when you try it now, you actually love it. Maybe it's those nostalgia goggles, but the fact remains. So go ahead, do a Skyrim playthrough with 0 mods, I challenge you. Okay, maybe just KUI because fuck the degenerate that made this fucking menu. Holy shit, this is bad.